Nothing that is ever worthwhile is easy to get. For the most part, it takes a lot of hard work and just knowledge, experience, and time in whatever you're trying to achieve. Or if you just stumble upon it, you may think that it came by chance or that it was just meant for you, but you don't understand all of the sacrifices that you went through to get what you were trying to get or something that you achieved. So there is a suffering and hard work that goes into achieving anything, and it's trying to balance that. So you're trying to optimize your suffering into something that is worthwhile. And really, if you think back into your younger years, like high school or college, or when you first started your career, it was really hard. And as time goes on, it gets easier, and you enjoy, you start to enjoy, and you remember those hard times. You're like, you know what? That was worth it because it pays off in the end. So going through those hard times and understanding that you're doing it for a reason does really help you in the long run. But is it worth it? That's the whole thing. So if you go through life and you figure out that what you were doing wasn't worth it, that's where it really comes and bites you in the ass. It's like I went through all of that heartache, all of that suffering, and I regret it. If you regret what you've been through, then it probably wasn't the best thing for you. All the mistakes you make in life, you can learn something from them. It's probably where you learn the most is all of the hardships that you go through. And if that suffering isn't optimized into something that is worthwhile, then you need to stop doing it. It is that simple. Everything that you go through, it should be for a reason, or it's something that you have to do. And if it's something that you have to do, then you have to suck it up and do it. But then again, that is for a reason. Like I remember like playing sports in high school and just running a ton. I hated it while I was doing it. But after you're done, you feel great. After you get faster and you get stronger and you learn how far you can push your body, you start appreciating it more because it's like, wow, I could do that. And then those little things stick with you. Back when I was in high school running, I that still stays with me. That is still built inside of me that I was able to do that. I was able to push my body and put myself through that suffering, that hardship, and then I knew that I could do that in the end. And that's something that I keep with me into everything that I do, and I keep on pushing those limits. I keep on pushing those limits and trying to achieve more and more and do more and more and learn more and bring it all together and then pass it on to somebody else. Those that don't want to teach other people and you just want to see them go through the suffering that you went through, that is just weird. I've never found that. I never find that people that have knowledge that they don't share with other people, those are the people that you really have to watch out for because it it's not hard at all to help others so they don't go through the same hardships that you went through, or you see them doing it and you're just sitting back there like smiling and laughing, and it's something that you enjoy. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to teach. You're supposed to teach people and not let them go through the same mistakes. And those that are closest to you, that you know they're doing the wrong thing, and you're just letting them go through that suffering, and it isn't is it it's all in vain, and you aren't helping them in the way that you should be helping them because you think that it's going to hurt their feelings, or they might think of you differently, or you just don't want to deal with it. Like those, if you're that person, then you really don't care about that person that you're letting go through those hardships. And if you have those people in your life, you need to get rid of those people. They really don't care about you. And you really need to think of why you why are they in your life? Like what else? That means they're probably taking advantage of you in some way or another. or they find amusement off of your suffering. And that's just something that you should not have in your life. And you need to get rid of those people. But nothing, well, things that really last and that you will care about the most likely come from the most suffering you've ever been through in your life. The hardest things that you've ever had to deal with. That's where you get most of your enjoyment and your pride from, going through those hard things. And if you try to shield yourself, and that's why when parents, they're more and more, they want to try to shield everything from their kids. And you have to let kids, let your spouse, let your brother, your sister, your friends, you have to let them go through some kind of suffering, because you try to help people and they will not listen. They have to get some of that suffering. They have to get some of that pain. It's just the way it is. You have to do the same thing. I did the same thing. There were a lot of things I've done in my life that I knew were most likely bad for me, and this was a bad decision, but I had to go through it. And it's a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. The opportunities that you have, you don't know when they're going to be back in your life. So you have to take those opportunities. You have to put yourself through as much suffering to optimize that to make your life better. And the only way you're going to know what the right balance is you have to push it. You have to break it. You have to do things that you cannot do. And you have to be like, whoa, hold up. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe I need to learn more. Maybe I need to get stronger. Maybe I need to listen to others that have been through the same thing that I'm trying to go through to better myself. Wow, I don't know everything. Wow, somebody else may know more than me. I know it's crazy. It's a crazy thought. It's a crazy thought. But if you are living under that line where you're like, I am not going to suffer at all, most likely your life is going to be mediocre. You are not going to be interesting at all. You're going to be lame, and it's just going to be, you're hiding from the world and you're afraid to push those boundaries and you want to play it safe. You can play it safe, but that means with everything, with knowledge, because the more that you know about something, then you can't sit back and do nothing. The more you know, then you have to do it. It's just like in the Matrix. Once you know, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It does not work. So even the knowledge is suffering, because once you have that and you're like, wow, it's hard to go back. There are some people that do, and you see them, those people in your life that they know what they're doing is wrong, and they know that the people that they're hanging out with are bad, and they're just like, they will be like straight up with you, be like, I choose this. And just like, man, more power to you. I wish I could live in that fake world and have the fake things and conform to everybody else, and not be different and just be another sheep. Just throw yourself back in the machine and be that cog that someone else is using. Someone else is just cranking you around. It's getting out of the rat race through suffering, because if you don't push your limits and go to the verge of breaking, you will never know what it's like to create anything new. You will always be used. You will never create. You will always look to somebody else to make things better for you. You will never help out anybody else, because you don't know what it's like to go through the trenches. You're listening to somebody else. You're always going to be an employee. You'll never be a boss. You'll never be able to teach even your kids, your friends, your family anything new, because you don't have that in you, because you didn't want to go to that level of, you know what? I'm going to go see what it's like out here by myself. I'm going to go make something of myself. I'm going to put in the hard work that these people have done, but other people won't do, because it is hard. And they straight up tell you, like, hey, this is the path that nobody chooses. But at the end, you will be happier, and you can make other people happy, and you can show other people the way. That's what it is all about. Optimizing your suffering into something that is productive. It is that simple.